One. We are live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another Hangout with the Helpful Entrepreneur and with Zach Weiss right here. Oh, sorry. Here he is on this side here over. So, an up-and-coming entrepreneur, fairly new to the YouTube community, and we're going to pick his brain tonight, ask him a whole bunch of great questions. So if you guys have got any questions, great seeing a few people here already. Canines Over Coffee, all good. Gen X and Dave at Hidden Freedom. Awesome. If you guys can go and check out Zach's YouTube channel, it's right down there, The Incubating Entrepreneur. Go and check it out. If you like it, subscribe. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. I'm kidding. Don't do that.
Please do.
But anyways, all right, let's get straight to it. Let's go, go, go. So Zach, you're just outside the Boston area, correct?
Correct.
Awesome. Fantastic. So when and why did you start as an entrepreneur?
Oh my gosh. So I truly believe that this is at least true for me. I was always an entrepreneur in spirit, but I was kind of like, how do I say, hibernating, incubating, no pun intended. But I realized after I started to like become aware and take subtle hints throughout my life. So like when I was a kid, I would sell things on eBay to try to make extra bucks. When I had no money, I would scrape things together. If I wanted the next video game system, I would sell like another video game system, and I would always be on the move for trying to figure out ways to make money out of nothing. And then when I got older, I constantly started these little teeny businesses. So like when I was in college, if we fast forward all the way to college, I fixed phones for people. And I discovered this skill randomly after fixing my friend's phone. And after I fixed it, I was like, I can make some money doing this. And I just got such a thrill out of going on campus and selling a service to people under the table to make extra money. And I was making a killing for a college kid, way more than minimum wage. And then I realized at that point that I just love this entire business. And then I learned about all kinds of different beginner models like drop shipping, and I wanted to get into that. And all this is while I'm in college. So like I'm still trying to finish my degree, and I'm studying computer science. I wanted to be a software engineer. And I ended up finishing the degree and starting as a software engineer. But after about 6 months into it, I'm honest, like as much as I can do the job, it just does not feel fulfilling. And I feel like something is missing in my life. And yeah, just eventually, and I can go through the whole story of like how I started, this channel, my business and everything, but it just like a series of life events just kind of unfolded. And I'm a hard believer that everything happens for a reason. And yeah. Excellent
Answer. So tell us a bit about your business.
Well, so my current business is a real estate. I consider YouTube a business as well, but the one that's generating money, I'm not monetized yet on YouTube, is my real estate social media marketing agency. Right. And I started this at the tip of 2019. And I basically work with real estate agents individually and real estate brokers, and I run Facebook and Instagram advertising campaigns for them on a monthly retainer. And it's like a full like done for you service. So like I am their go-to marketing agency for I'm their outsourced marketing department essentially. Right. And in addition, I also do some done with you, which is like consulting and training. So if like a team is bigger, I will go to the team and train them up essentially on how to do what I do. And then I'll just leave with a check and then move on. So like it's kind of two parts. And last year I kind of just I started small with like a couple clients, maybe like 3 to 5 clients. And I'm talking like full time. Right. And then this year I got some testimonials and I really worked really hard for that. And this year I'm going to kind of scale it up and do some inbound marketing to try to replace as much of my day job income as possible.
Good for you. How did you get into that?
That's actually a really great question. So I thank you. And I love this. I really do. I love this story. Okay. So basically to be honest, it all started in the summer of 2018. It was after I graduated. I went through a tragic, terrible breakup of 4 years. We were in love with each other, and the heartbreak of the breakup just left me feeling extremely empty. And I felt like a broken vessel, essentially. Wow. And at this point, I ended up getting targeted all over the internet. This is kind of when marketers were going nuts, like big YouTubers and all kinds of marketers. I ended up getting targeted by all kinds of people. And eventually I caved to this one YouTuber. His name is Tim Han, and he has a channel on YouTube called Success Insiders. Okay. And I ended up joining what was a webinar at the time. And I didn't know what a webinar was. I didn't know anything about marketing. I just joined his webinar. And at the very end, when he started to sell his private membership, I joined. He was selling a dream. He was selling a life that I didn't have. I thought that the life that I subscribed to, going to school, getting the 9-to-5 job, and living with a good 6-figure salary was the end all be all, and just save for retirement, get married, have kids, and die. I thought that was life. But he was teaching a different life. And I just caved. I gave my credit card and I joined. And I can remember the first video where I posted on the wall, and he said, introduce yourself. And I was so nervous and depressed and introverted at the time. And then when I posted the video, I just felt there was a whole community of people who wanted to grow with me, and it just felt amazing. Now, if I fast forward a little bit, I ended up leaving that club, that membership, about a month into it, because I just thought I started to get skeptical. My friends thought I was an idiot. They thought that it was a scam, and I listened to them. And then I got out of it. I got a partial refund. And then a couple months later, fast forward like September a little bit, I'm watching a bunch of videos, and I discovered this book. And I'm sure many of you in this live chat will know what it is. It's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, no, right? And I started reading it, and then I was just like, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. So this is an asset, this is a liability, and the secret to wealth is real estate investing. And I was like, okay. So I always like to take like keywords and I look for the answer key for the next step. So I said real estate investing, and then I started watching all kinds of real estate investing videos. And then this guy who had about 200,000 subscribers at the time on YouTube, his name was Graham Stephan, who has since blown up. I started watching his videos religiously, and I'm just like, wow, this guy's teaching me everything about real estate investing. And then I see he's in a video with this guy named Kevin David, another big guru entrepreneur in this space. And he asked him in this video, he said, okay, if you're going to start a business from absolutely scratch, what would you do? And then Kevin David responded, oh, without a doubt, 100%, I would run Facebook ads for small businesses. And I stopped the video at that point. I didn't watch anymore. And I literally put in the search bar, Facebook ads, how to run Facebook ads for businesses. And then I started learning about social media marketing in general. And then I was like, okay, another light bulb. I want to learn real estate. I want to learn social media marketing. So what do? I search real estate, social media marketing. And I'm like, wow, if I do a social media marketing agency, I can learn sales, I can learn marketing, and I can learn about real estate because I'm working with real estate agents, right?
Yeah.
So what ends up happening is I discover this other big YouTuber. His name is Jason Wardrop, and he's the premier on YouTube, the guy teaching everyone about how to run Facebook ads for real estate. Then I get inspired, and I want to figure out kind of like how to price my services, because I've watched enough of his videos. I'm ready to go out and sell this stuff. So I email him. I'm like, so how should I price my services? What expectations should I set? All this stuff. Like I asked him a bunch of questions. He responds. And after he responds, as I'm waiting for him, I noticed that he has a course, like a really like deep $1,000 course on how to run Facebook ads for real estate agents. And I was like, this is an interesting thing. So what ended up happening was I said, why don't I start a YouTube channel? Okay. And why don't I record my journey? This is all happening at the same time. Okay. So I just literally pull out my phone with a friend at work at the gym, and I say, hey, what's up, guys? I'm just going to create this YouTube channel, and I'm going to record every single week me starting this social media marketing agency. And I had about 3 to 4 videos out at the time. And with that, I had another epiphany. Jason Wardrop, I emailed him. What if I use my YouTube channel thank you. What if I use my YouTube channel as a longitudinal study for your course to prove it? Because an online course is a massive online business. And the best way to sell an online course is with certainty. And how do you give certainty? Oh, am I talking too loud?
No. Everybody, listen to the story, because I've heard it already. This story is amazing. Listen to this story. This is so cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I love
it. Okay, so the best way to sell an online course is with certainty, and everyone in the brothers sketched out by a 990, any product ending with a 7 on the internet, sketchy. So how do you sell this product is with certainty. So I was like, what if I, over the course of a year, prove your course? And I learned about this concept of adding value first, right? So we're going to barter. You're going to put me in your course for free as a test rat. And I'm going to prove that your system works every week after week after week. I wait like a week back, and then he responds, I love the idea. He puts me in his course for free. I get through the first lecture, and I'm too excited. I don't even know how to run ads yet, but I start going down Yelp, and I start cold calling. And I have these videos on my channel. If you search back in like February, March, I start cold calling real estate brokerages live on camera. And I get mostly rejected. But then one guy's like, sure, I'll meet with you. And this is kind of nuts, but I'm literally like so nervous. And I just sit down with him. I prepare this like proposal, and I'm literally selling out of my butt. Like, I've never ran a single ad in my life, but I came in with confidence. I drank a large cup of coffee, and I ended up selling him a $12,000 contract, which was the form of $2,000 for 6 months. The way it happened was I wanted him to pay $3,000. I literally came up with the number. Like, I was like, hey, so how much do you want to charge? I was like, $3,000 per month. And then he's like, I can't give you $3,000 per month, but I can give you $25,000 per year. How does that sound? Like, he thought he was getting a good deal. I'd never ran an ad in my life. And after I got my check, I immediately deposited, because I didn't want to get sued. So I took the money and I opened an LLC, and I didn't know where to open an LLC, but everyone's like, open it in Delaware because of taxes. So I opened it in Delaware using an app called inkfile.com, a website. And after that was all officiated, I had work to do. I didn't know how to do any of the work that he wanted me to do. So I started going through the course at the same time. And this is all happening at the same time. And eventually I realized that this course wasn't going to cut it. It was too cookie cutter. So I started to network with Jason more. We started to do more Skype calls. And I worked my way into his friend on Facebook. And then we started talking every single week. And eventually I found out that he has an agency and he has someone running his ads personally, but he's not like big on YouTube or anything. So he's much more accessible, because if you have a big following, then you're getting people to solicit you all the time for everything. And his name was Adam Middlesworth. Okay. So I pinged this guy, Adam, who's running his Facebook ads. And I say, can you please teach me everything that you know? And he was like, yeah, sure. No problem. That's going to cost you $3,000. And most people would say scam, running away. But do you know what I did? I didn't think twice. I literally sent him the money on the call. I didn't even think. I just said, here, take the $3,000. And it was literally the $3,000 of money from the first client.
Sure.
And then I took the money, and he started to coach me one-on-one for 8 weeks straight. And he pretty much like Yoda'd me. He taught me everything that he knew. And at the end of it, I knew how to run a successful campaign. And I basically jerry-rigged my entire business together. After the first one, I got a second one, a third one. And my third client was a local client here in Boston. And I ended up, this was crazy, but basically I sold her a $5,000 retainer. And I had no sales skills. And I realized that was a big mistake, because if the more money you charge someone, you'll find this out, but the more money that you charge someone, the more they're going to expect out of you, the more they're going to want custom work. So I learned that actually you want to keep your prices low. You want to keep your prices lower so you can create packages. But that's kind of diving into the weeds. But the point is that this guy, Adam, taught me everything he knew. And then over the course, I'm still posting every single week. And this is kind of where things get really bad. So April hits, okay, guys? And
this is my third question. This is awesome. We're gonna be here till 4 a.m.
I'm so sorry. I just love the story. Okay, so April hits, and I am on a high because I'm making more. I'm making $10,000 a month with my business. I am making more at my business after taxes than I am with my job, and I'm ready to quit. And then I basically on camera say, I hope my manager is seeing this right now. I'm putting in my notice. This is it. 1 month. I'm quitting. And guess what happens next? I get a message on my Slack for my day job. And he's like, hey, Zach, can you hop on a call with me? And then on the call, he's like, can you explain this this video, and he literally, little birdie told him that I said this on camera, and this was on a Thursday, and I'm freaking out because it's like the day before my tenure at this job happens, and then the next day, I end up getting a raise because I did really well the first year, but at the same time, I'm talking to HR, and I almost get fired, and I mean, right now I'm laughing about it, and I'll tell you, I'm just going to cut to the chase. I kept the job. I didn't lose the job, but I went through, during the summer, I actually went through a really bad rut depression. I was getting overwhelmed and burnt out. I was working 3 jobs, no social life. And it was getting really intense to the point where I felt I was going to just completely quit. I was on antidepressants. It got really bad. And I ended up keeping everything. I kept my job. This is when I learned about outsourcing. So I hired contractors to help me. But that still wasn't, perfect. That was my contingency with my job, was that I had to hire someone to do the work, and I couldn't do the work myself. And then long story short, like October hits, I'm starting to gain more traction, and I just, get myself out of the rut. And I realized a big part of my depression wasn't my circumstances, but it was malnutrition. It was bad sleep. It wasn't me taking care of myself. And when you're an entrepreneur, the most important thing you have to focus on is yourself, because you are the machine, right? If you don't work, nothing works.
So true.
You have to take care of it's the same airplane analogy. If you can't put oxygen on yourself, then then your entire business can't run. And when you have employees working for you, they're feeding their kids with the money you're generating for them. So you have all this responsibility that you have to take care of yourself. You're not taking care of yourself because you're being selfish. You're doing it for them. So it's kind of like, and that's just the basic gist of how I started everything. And my YouTube channel became my main passion at the end of this. Like, I realized I love teaching. I love sharing my knowledge. I know that there's way more people. When in the middle of the year, I went to Grant Cardone's 10X event, and I met a massive handful of people. I met a bunch of people like me, and I was like, oh my God, I thought I was the only one here. And I just started talking, and I my whole thing is like, I don't want to be a guru. I don't ever want to be a guru. And I just want to be like a friend. I want to be someone who is going through it at the same time. And I'm an open book. You ask me a question, and I'll give you an answer. I'm not going to charge you $1,000 for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, definitely. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. So guys, everybody that's on the stream right now, go over to Zach's channel right now. Just go over there and join it. Like, just put us on pause. Just go over there and watch a few videos while you're there, and then come on back if you want to. That's fine. But come on, seriously, get over there and subscribe to his channel. Yeah, Ryan, you're right. Amazing story. Dave, depression is serious. You're right. Sherry, thanks for joining us tonight. Hello. Gil, tech unboxing videos. Gil's in the house. Books Fire, hello. How's it going, guys? So thanks a lot for joining us, everybody. So like I said, everybody go on over, join Zach's YouTube. That'd be his channel. That'd be great. I know you just touched on this, but what motivates you? I know you kind of touched it here and there throughout that.
So much.
45 minutes. Okay.
So sorry. But yeah, so basically what motivates me is when I was 9 years old, my dad died, and I was living with my mom, and she was a single parent, and she was a boomer, and most female boomers were kind of like more of like homestayers, and we had zero money. We were completely flat broke, and we were forced to move out of my place in Chicago. And then we ended up moving westward to Los Angeles. And I pretty much was living broke my entire life. And I was evicted multiple times. I had to help my mom get rent by soliciting door to door. And we had some really low times. And I just realized, like, I never want to deal with that again. I never want to deal with that instability again. And my entire, I've never been exposed to another side of life. And I've lived in poverty my entire life. And my goal in life is to just be the best me. I can't be you, Rick. I can't be any of you guys. Like, I have to be the best me. And that includes like being financially stable, being as learned as possible, reading every single day, improving every single day, and being a good person. And I think that the true character of success is being genuinely humble with security, with all the monetary, like, flashy things, staying the same and not letting it get to your head and all those things. What motivates me is honestly the impact. Like, I am not doing this for myself. I know that like my friends and my network and the people around me, like they're unhappy with their lives, and maybe they don't want to become an entrepreneur, but they definitely want to change their career paths. They definitely want to change their major in college. They're dealing with fear. And my biggest goal is to help people develop the courage to overcome any fear that they have and to help them reach their particular specific needs. And I'm not here to tell someone what their destiny is. I'm here to basically hold their hand. That's kind of my goal.
Good. That's an amazing goal to have. It really is. Good for you, Zach. Oh, geez, it's such a young age too. How old are you?
23.
Oh man, the world is go for it. Go for it, man. Go for it. I noticed, the other day I was like, looking at your channel, and you interviewed some guy who's got a channel called, I don't know, he's not that popular right now though, but he maybe he's just breaking out, but some guy called Meet Kevin or something like that.
Yeah, it's like, what's really funny is that video is it's kind of completely dead. And what ended up happening was, so if you guys don't know who Meet Kevin is, he is and
that's pretty amazing.
He's pretty big now, and he teaches all about real estate investing alongside Graham Stephan. They're the biggest people in the real estate investing niche on YouTube. And I discovered him around the same time I discovered Graham Stephan. And when he was small, I immediately jumped into his real estate investing course when it first came out because I wanted to learn about real estate investing. And I convinced him to do an interview with me, but he's very difficult to get a hold of. And basically one day he was just like, you want to do it? And I ended up doing it on my cell phone over a FaceTime call. The first call didn't have audio, and the second one did have audio, but it was so laggy. The video quality on that video is horrible. But that interview really, like, it started my passion. Like Meet Kevin is truly like a goal for me. Like as far as where he is, he's like an authentic person with a massive amount of a following, with tons of money in real estate, and like. And he's just a good person, and I think that's what attracts people to him. So like I really love Meet Kevin. Definitely check out his channel. If you guys are going to 10x, I'm going to his real estate crash course, 2/20/2020. It's in Vegas. If you guys want to meet me in person, meet him in person. That's a good opportunity. But yeah, Meet Kevin. I have his number on my phone. We text sometimes, but we used to text like when he had a smaller following. Now he like responds to every 20 messages. So like, but yeah.
That's really cool. Really, really cool. So what's the best part that you find is for you about being an entrepreneur? What is the best part? What's the most rewarding part?
What an incredible question. For me, it's the lack of a ceiling, first of all, and the impact that you can make. I think that as an entrepreneur, you're also, it's the fulfillment, right? Because like you create your own life, and it's very, very, very powerful to start something from nothing. And it's like raising a child. Having a business is like raising a child. And I recommend you all read the book E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber. It's a fantastic entrepreneur read to understand the different personalities of an entrepreneur. But can you just remind me the question because ADHD.
What's your favorite part about being an entrepreneur?
Favorite part about being an entrepreneur is, definitely the impact. And I feel like I've always been gravitated towards like doing something that's bigger than just sitting at a desk. Like as a software engineer, you make really good money, you have great benefits, and I like to call it golden handcuffs. But the impact I'm making, I'm pushing code to the mist. And I'm not client facing. I am a backend developer, and I don't see where my work goes. And I could work for 17 hours. I could work for 50 hours, 100 hours, and it doesn't feel impact. When I help someone generate leads, this is just my business today. This is to get my feet wet. But like you see the impact you're giving to your clients, and it's something that didn't exist. And now not only does it exist, but it's helping people. And with my YouTube channel, I started it in January. Unfortunately, the first one got deleted when I hired an editor and moved this is a whole different story, but I created a video about my vision board. Since then I made another one, but my first vision board video, I just made it because I genuinely love the concept of having your goals plastered on your wall and just like staring at it. And then all of a sudden, like a week later, I get a DM on Instagram. and someone shows me the vision board they created because of my video. And I'm serious when I say I started crying. I dropped my phone. I started crying because just that, like, I was like, oh my God, like a video I posted on the internet affected a real human being somewhere in the world. And I would never in a million years get that with my day job. I mean, never.
Yeah. So true. So true. Okay. So Ryan's got a comment there. Loved E-Myth. They opened his eyes as well. Gen X is asking, I wonder what % of employees love their job. I think it's down to like about 20, maybe 18%. I've heard, at least in Canada. I mean, 75-80% of the people just do not enjoy going into work every day. So let's see. Oh, hang on. Here we go. Getting more highs to everybody. So hope everybody got a chance to go over to Zach's channel.
Thank you. Hey guys, I just want to take a second to thank you directly for being here. I am grateful. I just want to say that I love you all individually, and I hope that one day I get to meet you in person. Honestly, like this is for me. The internet is just a way to meet people. You know, like that's what we're doing right now.
So yeah, you know what? Why don't we just embark upon the little quick conversation that we had beforehand? So just before we opened up and went live tonight, Zach and I were saying, like, we ever spoken about, you know, so I was telling about all you guys about how cool of a community we've got, and everybody's supporting each other, and we've all pretty much started pretty much at the same time-ish, and just over about a year ago or so, in the last year, is our inauguration year, basically. But maybe I was going to suggest that in our second year, that every year we try and meet up somewhere, all of us. That'd be really cool. That if we could do that. I've actually met Chris Thrift BCQ. Chris, he lives in the same city as I do, so I mean that was easy enough. But to meet up with everybody in the community once a year, I mean, I'll host a year here in Toronto. Absolutely, I'll get us Raptors tickets and rent a limo, and just drive us all around for a weekend. But I mean, whatever the case may be, like just meet up at a show in Vegas or whatever would be really, really cool. So we could definitely talk about that later. But we're just looking to try and grow the community right now with investors and
yeah. And absolutely. And I just want to touch on that. And like, I don't know how far all of you are in your journey, but if you guys read the book, Think and Grow Rich, read it. If you haven't, I mean, everyone needs to read that book, but it has the concept of masterminds in it. And the concept is basically like, if you get a bunch of like-minded people in a room who are like niche and specific, like subject matter experts or SMEs in a particular subject, then you guys will come up with new and improved ideas and get way farther than you would on your own. And that's essentially what we're talking about. I hate the word mastermind. But the point is like just bringing people together who are like-minded, and it also just helps build a community to know you're not doing it by yourself. It's going to help you avoid burnout in the long term.
Oh yeah, definitely. Again, you got to create a team, right, of good people. And I'm a firm believer, like good people find other good people. I've proven that so many times in my life, and you just keep looking for great people and just keep bringing them together and whatnot, and great things will happen. It's so true. It's so true. So tell me something that you're really proud of.
What am I really proud of?
Maybe you've accomplished.
So
something in your life, or something.
Honestly, like this past year, like, well, it started, I could tell you, like, it depends. Like, so if you're asking me in an emotional standpoint, like getting over my breakup was pretty bad. Like I was a pretty big problem. Like, I didn't think I was gonna like get over it. And then not only did I get over it, but I came out so far ahead and ended up meeting some of the most amazing people here in my local community and making some amazing close friends. I don't know if he's on the live stream right now still, but his name is Isaiah. His YouTube channel is Carsplaining, so definitely check him out.
Yep, he was up there.
If you guys are into cars, he's one of my best friends out here. And at the same time, like that was a big stump. But as far as being proud of something, getting the courage to actually start a business. I think, yeah, there he is. Yeah, so amazing. So the courage to start. I think a lot of people are stuck here on the internet, consuming a lot of content and not going out and actually doing the work. And when I actually made my first cold call, got my first client, saw the first Stripe transaction come into my bank, saw the LLC, hired my first contractor, like when I got to the next stage in my business, all those things, creating like something out of nothing. I'm a builder, and I've also loved problem solving. And anytime I solve a puzzle, right, that that is what I'm proud, like, and I saw, and being an entrepreneur, that is like the best metaphor I can ever give you. It's like, it's always problem solving and puzzle solving and getting to the next challenge. And it's a continual process. And I'm very, very proud of where I am today. I have many ambitions for the future, but I'm very proud of the transition I've made. I mean, yeah, totally. Just like the business, the YouTube channel, everything. I'm very happy. I'm proud of the fact that I can be myself now. I could tell you, like, for the first 6 months of doing all this, I was afraid of being myself. I was kind of under the radar. At work, I was acting like a different person. And now I'm just like myself there too. Like, honestly, I have an emergency fund. That's a massive thing as an entrepreneur. You want to have a nest egg, an emergency fund. And as soon as I got that padding, I realized, what's the worst that's going to happen? I'll get another job. So like, I really just, being authentic is very important. And that's kind of what I'm proud of. I'm proud of the transition internally, for sure.
Good for you. Good for you. Holy mackerel, man. I mean, we're proud of you. Good for you, man. Like, seriously, it's a huge year for you. What a way to start the new decade. Holy mackerel. Next decade. This is pretty impressive. I know you mentioned a few, entrepreneurs and YouTubers there earlier, but who else do you follow? Like, who, investors, entrepreneurs, I guess YouTubers as well. Who are you following?
Honestly, I'm gonna just list off a couple names, but I'm gonna teach you guys a little trick that I learned from some big people who I network with. I'll just throw out some names, like Sam Ovens is someone I love.
Yeah.
I love Graham Stephan, Alex Becker. If we're talking in the YouTube world, I'm actually not a big fan of Grant Cardone, but I used to be. I'm honestly just going to 10X just to network with people. Right. But like, as far as entrepreneurs, like, here's the thing. The big entrepreneurs actually are not following anyone. They're not. Their mentor. They're basically, the only person they're following is 1 to 2 to 3, maybe 3 people max. People, and then everyone else you just unsubscribe from and stop following, because the more people you follow, the more distracted you're going to get. And the key to success, according to Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, is focus. And the opposite of focus is distraction. So like, the way to stay focused is by focusing on 1 to 2 couple people. So for me, it's Graham Stephan, me, Kevin, Sam Ovens. That's probably, thank you. That's probably just it. And for right now, yeah, I kind of keep it on the DL, keep it small. It might change from time to time. Jason Wardrop was a big one. He taught me everything I know about real estate investing. Nice. And I also follow some, like, just a few people for YouTube growth. So like Sunny, I can't remember her last name at the moment. She's got like this really long Italian last name.
Oh yeah, she's from Vancouver. Yeah.
So Sunny and let's see, yeah, Sunny. That's all that's coming up right now. But yeah, I keep it really small because I want to stay focused.
Got it.
Yeah.
Excellent. What's your definition of being successful?
Wow. I love your questions. My definition of being successful is definitely to be happy with where you are, to not need anything, to be able to say no indefinitely, honestly, like to be able to say no to anything and to be content with where you are, and to be able to provide for all your needs and any of your loved ones' needs. Or if your thing is philanthropy, for any of your philanthropical ventures. Yeah. And so it's just gratitude. It's subjective. I learned this quote. It's actually by Dale Carnegie. My absolute favorite book out of everything I've read so far is How to Win Friends and Influence People. So another amazing read. But the quote I have on my vision board is, it isn't what you have or who you are or where you are or what you are doing that makes you happy or unhappy. It is what you think about it. So I'm successful right now, and there's nothing anyone could do to take that away from me. I don't need zeros in my bank account to be successful. Yeah. It's also a sort of an app. Yeah. Exactly. It's an affirmation. If you're not happy right now, you're not going to be happy when you get that Lamborghini. You're not going to be happy when you get married. You're not going to be happy when your passive income exceeds your active income. You're not going to be happy. Yeah. And another thing I learned from the Wolf of Wall Street. Oh, that's another guy I listened to, Jordan Belfort. So for sales, He says you should use goals as a steering tool, a compass. That's it. You should not focus on the goal. You should use it to kind of make sure you're directed in the right direction, but you shouldn't focus on too hard on achieving it because you're going to burn out. And that's kind of like something I learned over this year. I wanted to hit like crazy numbers, and I was focused on hitting that dollar amount. And if I didn't hit it, then I was doing something wrong. It's all subjective. You've made up this shit. I'm sorry if I'm not allowed to swear on this channel. You made
Okay.
you made up all this stuff. But, you made there. You made up all these numbers artificially in your head, right? So exactly. So you gotta just like focus on the present. Meditate. I meditate every single day. Totally a backer of that. And just start to appreciate everything you have. If that's in the form of a gratitude journal, great. If it's something you can do mentally, great. If it's going outside and walking, great. But start to be happy where you are now. Don't give up what you want, but pretend that you can't. Pretend, God forbid, you're like what's the guy who played Superman? Christopher Reeves, and you fall off a horse. You have everything, and then immediately you have nothing. What now? Are you going to be depressed for the rest of your life, or are you going to be happy?
Yeah.
So I realize how vulnerable we are as human beings, and with that, I just realized like I have to be happy now. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. My uncle has Parkinson's, and I see what the elements of the world can do to you. So like I'm very grateful for where I am today. I'm a happy person. I'm successful. So that's my definition of success. Yeah.
At 23, and you can say that you're successful. You're doing all right, buddy. You're doing all right. So I want you to tell us about the story of being grateful. Okay, I know you got a really cool story, but before we go there, hang up. But before you know what I'm talking about, which one you did a video on it?
I'm trying to remember.
About videos. Others and being grateful, and you were at a show, and I don't want to give it away because I want you to tell the story.
Well, just give me the subject matter. I'm trying to remember.
Gratitude. It was gratitude, basically. So think about it. If not, I'm going to have to give you another nudge. But in the meantime, guys, everybody watching, if you guys are watching me wear this, here's a bit of a plug. All these Om stones and necklaces and whatnot, my partners have decided that, this side here. Where am I? Over here. The grounded root. I'm going to put up the scrolling thing here tonight. We've got a promo. If you guys want to go on over, take a look at the website. If there's anything you guys want to get there, use the promo code tonight for 20% off. Use the promo code YouTube. Okay, so go check it out. Say Rick sent you. No, don't say that. But take a look at it and see what you guys think. If you want to grab anything, use promo code YouTube. So there was a website. Sorry, there was a video that you did in regards to getting the VIP passes.
Oh, that was the most recent one. Yeah. So basically,
pretty cool.
The idea is like, I think instead of gratitude, it's more about the concept of the secret. This is from the book How to Win Friends and Influence People, is like kind of the fundamental, but like the way to hack your way into anything you want in life. Well, if you think about life, it's all relationships. It's who you know. Your social net worth is your net worth.
Yeah, your net worth.
Your network is your net worth. Exactly. So the way to get anything you want in life is by giving. It's by gratitude and genuine appreciation. If you talk about the story for 10X, so basically I paid $79 for a student ticket. It was a GA ticket. I just got the cheapest possible ticket to get in, and I show up to this event. I have an amazing time, and then it's the end of the first day, and I see a bunch of people standing in a corner. They're all wearing red VIP badges. A red VIP badge, for those who don't know, they're $5,000 a pop. Just to sit there. It gives you very close seating. You're right next to Uncle G, and it's a great networking opportunity because everyone there they're already super successful because they just throw money. They throw $5,000 at a ticket. So I was afraid. I'm not gonna lie. I was standing there. I was intimidated and anxious, and I was like, should I do this? Should I do this? And I just closed my mind. I breathed a little bit, and I just stormed straight for the group. I opened up and I said, "Hey, I'm Zach. What's your name?" And I just introduced myself. I started talking to this woman. Her name was Jen, and she was wearing a badge. And we start talking, and I find out she runs advertisements for Tai Lopez. And if you guys don't know him, he's a big guru here. Exactly. And he's a big guru here. and she runs ads for him. And I was just like, dang, like these are pretty high net worth people. I'm just like a little penny. Like I just started my business, but I started talking about how I also run ads. I have a social media marketing agency. And then I was like, I'm always thinking, this is how I think, by the way. How can I add value to this conversation? How can I give? How can I give? How can I give? How can I give? That's like how I think. And then I was like, okay, fine. I can do collaborations with her. I can run ads with her. Okay. So I said, why don't we combine our agencies and partner up or something? And I can help you increase whatever revenue you're already generating. And I just started talking about that. She loved the idea. We started talking. And then eventually I started to get into starting to direct message her on Instagram. And then what ended up happening the next day was she said, Zach, I want you and your friends to meet me at this location at this time. And I didn't really know what it meant. And as soon as I get there, she hands me 5 VIP badges and she sneaks in all of my friends and everyone to the VIP section. And I'm sitting down in the VIP seats. Social engineering, guys. And I'm telling you, the secret was I had no expectations and I genuinely just wanted to give. And I promise you guys, if you show gratitude to people and you understand their worth and you're interested and you don't come in with a taking attitude, then people will literally give you anything. Like the same thing happened with Jason. All throughout my life, like everything is literally about giving.
Wow.
Yeah.
Word to live by. Good for you, man. Good for you. Gil at Tech Unboxing Videos has got a question for you. Can you see it there?
What's up? Yeah. Okay. Have you ever thought about publishing a book to share your knowledge to a larger audience? Here's the thing. Yes. I've thought about writing a book. It actually happened right after my breakup. I wanted to write a whole book, and I realized the language I was using was very self-helpy, and that kind of like got me into this whole community. But here's the thing. I know the whole like self-publishing on Amazon, and here's the problem. I don't want to write a book or a biography or anything until I have a massive demand for it. I don't want to I don't want to be one of those gurus basically teaching the world. I'm 23 years old. I am young. I haven't seen too much of life yet. I'm not as wise as my last name. No pun intended. But I really want to wait to do that. I want to have more experience. And I don't, because people who just at my age are writing books, you should be sketched out because it seems like they're in it for the monetary gain. And I learned something really interesting from Gary Vee. And he said, if you monetize this is like a notes I have. If you monetize in the short term, you're going to kill your brand in the long term. So I'm not here to monetize in the short term. That's kind of like the goal. That's why I'm not writing a book right now.
Okay. Yeah, I think you do really good on YouTube, man. No, seriously. I mean, you got so much energy and whatnot. You're just like, you just want to get it out there. It's almost like,
here's a secret, guys. This is my drug.
Yeah.
Caffeine.
Most of us are on that stuff. You know, we got to break free sometimes. But hey, it's great stuff to be on. That's for sure. Okay, so describe yourself. You're 23 now. So describe yourself 5 years from now.
In 5 years from now, 28 years old. All right. So I'm a full-time entrepreneur. I have 1 to 2 businesses, healthy businesses. One is a lifestyle business, which pays for my expenses. I'm keeping it manageable. The other one is a business that I'm going all in, and I'm building probably a software at this point. I'm going all in on innovation, and this is kind of like a real like startup, kind of trying to go to Silicon Valley or maybe like, get some VC funding and really like trying to build something that doesn't exist yet. And it's not just for me. It's because I want to solve a big problem in the world. That's just kind of like how I feel. And I'm also 28. I would like to be married. I would like to be married happily to an ambitious person. I as far as my real estate portfolio, I probably have like 4 to 5, maybe 6 if I'm pushing it, 6 properties, which are rental properties generating me income. Because my long-term game is to buy a property every single year, starting this year. And I'm just keep on going. And the most important thing is throughout this, I'm keeping a strong relationship with my mom. I'm keeping a strong relationship with my loved ones. I'm not letting my business get in the way of my personal life, and I'm not letting my personal life get in the way of my business. But I'm still only 28, you know, like I still in the middle of the grind. I've been consistent on YouTube for 5 years. So I've developed a bit of a following. That is my favorite pastime. However, I'm only 28, you know, I'm still working on it. And it's just like, that's just kind of like a snapshot, you know.
Good for you. Good. So what are some of your mistakes you wish you could have avoided?
Mistakes I should have. Oh my gosh.
Dating that
so
girl.
You'll hear, yeah, no, actually it was a very amazing experience. And I think everyone should go through heartbreak. I know it's a horrible thing to say, but like, I think it just makes you stronger as a human being.
Definitely.
But biggest mistake I ever made was probably, okay, in the entrepreneurial space, I'll keep it specific to this. You're going to hear a lot of this: outsource everything that doesn't generate you income. You're going to hear this all the time. And I actually realized that was a bit of a mistake. Everyone's like, IPAs, if it's not an income producing activity, someone else should do it. And I get the principle behind that. But what ended up happening was, as soon as I started making money, I outsourced everything. I outsourced my ads. I outsourced my editing for my YouTube channel. I outsourced I had an assistant. Like I went crazy with outsourcing. And I realized like things started to lose my personality, and no one does anything or cares about you or your business as much as you do. Sure. A's hire A's, B's hire C's, you know that saying, whatever. But like the point is, with my editor, he was doing an incredible job for my channel, but I was pouring money out. And the truth is, my personality wasn't really showing in the videos. It wasn't really how I wanted to display myself. And I didn't realize that till later in the year, that you should not outsource just because you can. You should outsource if you hate it, you're not good at it, and you have the money for it. And Sarah Blakely of Spanx has a great quote: hire out what you're not good at as soon as you can afford it. She says this at literally every convention she speaks at. And I recommend that. But just because you can outsource doesn't mean you should go into Upwork and do it. I think that if you love editing, edit. If you love the grind and the actual doing of the work, do it until you're actually needed somewhere else. Graham Stephan, if you guys follow him, he has over 1 million followers, and he still edits everything himself on iMovie. So, I mean, you really can do everything yourself if you wanted to, and everything else is kind of laziness. So like, that's a big one. Another one is, don't let your, a big mistake was not taking care of my mental health, not getting enough sleep. About
that. You did a video on that.
Yeah. So basically, not getting enough sleep is really important, because there's the Gary Vee mentality is like to always work, always be grinding and hustling and working more than everyone else. And it's not true. It's not true. You can't. You physically will burn out. And I realized my most productive days are when I get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. And I'm not talking in bed with your eyes closed. I'm talking about sleep. And I don't have it with me right now, but I have an Oura Ring, which helps me track my sleep and like mathematically. And I realized after using that ring, I was sleeping 4 to 5 hours a day. And I have a video coming out on how to get rid of brain fog, where I kind of go into that a little bit more. It's coming out in, I think, 2 weeks or so. But basically, like, you need to optimize, more important than exercise and food. Not saying they're not important, but sleep is literally the most important. I go to bed at 9:30 now as a 23-year-old when all my friends are out partying and drinking. I go to bed at 9:30 and everyone thinks I am a grandpa. And I say, whatever, if you don't sacrifice for your goal will become your sacrifice. So that's how I think.
Yeah, no kidding. Stay focused now while they're partying, and you get to party later. So good for you. Good. Yeah, do it. Sleeping is so important. It's so true, man. The definition is like, for me, it was always like, if I had a very successful day, it was because I had a great sleep the night before. Right. And I go all the time too, but you need some downtime. We're all humans, right? You definitely need that downtime. So what's your favorite day of the week?
Ooh, it used to be Friday. Now it's Monday.
Oh yeah. Monday morning's the best. Can't wait.
I absolutely love waking up and working now.
Yep. Absolutely.
And this is the thing, like, if you're doing something you love, you can't get enough of it. You're not working. If you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life. Everyone has heard that cliche. It's true. I used to hate the workday because I hated my job. And now that I'm doing things for a purpose, the job is keeping me afloat while I build myself into a full-time entrepreneur. That is why I love every second of the week.
Good for you. Good for you. All right, everybody here. Anybody got any questions for Zach? Throw them out there, please. We'd love to hear from you.
Bring them in.
Bring them in, man, for a 23-year-old entrepreneur. So what risks are you facing right now moving forward as an entrepreneur?
Honestly, like my biggest risk right now is I'm buying my first real estate property, and I'm not ready for it. I haven't ran enough numbers, and I have deals being thrown in my face. A lot of pressure, big, like, down payments. It's a lot of money up front for me. I'm 23 and I'm basically like 20 grand is like a massive chunk of my net worth right now. I'm only 23. So I'm trying to build up my skill set on real estate investing. So I'm going through Meet Kevin's course and doing as much as I can in that regard. And it's really just all the money I'm making. I'm trying to. So there's a book I'm reading right now called The Richest Man in Babylon. Have you read it?
Yep. Yeah.
So it's for those who don't know, it's basically how to generate wealth and the principle is basically like save, don't spend all your money, and invest the rest. And that's the basic concept. And all the money I'm taking, I'm basically trying to sink it into real estate, sink it into real estate, sink it into real estate. And over a long period of time, that's going to pay me enough money to retire, and I'm thinking like very, very long forward, and I'm, not trying to sell my properties. So this is my first real estate property. I can get burned if I'm not careful. But yeah, that's kind of my big focus for 2020 is owning land. So
good for you. Good for you. All Good's got a question for you.
Who influenced you to change your habits? That's a really good question. And who more than anyone else, this guy named Sam Ovens, I think I mentioned before, he's like a robot, and he kind of taught me everything that you need to do to become like a successful entrepreneur. And he had like if you check out his channel on YouTube, he like has all these crazy like things like being productive is actually doing less, sleeping super important, eating clean, all these different things. So like really him. I just kind of consumed all his videos, but then I took everything to like type A exactly word for word back in January last year. And he's like, you need to delete all the apps off your phone. You need to get off social media. And I deleted all my apps off my phone. I literally, I became a carbon copy of him, and I was so productive, but I was depressed and miserable. So like, I realized I'm a human being, and I need to like still be a part of the world. So like, balance your habits, and also come up with a morning routine that makes sense for you, and stick to it. That's really important. For me, every single morning, I always do this thing called Plan Tomorrow Today, which is a thing I learned from Sam Ovens, where you just like write a little checklist of things you want to do the night before you go to bed. And then in the morning, you can just tackle them without thinking about it because you're groggy in the morning. And on top of that, I always pray because gratitude comes first. And I am religious in the sense that I don't believe that I am the highest power. I believe something else is. And then gratitude and meditation, and just like really getting yourself into the right mode for the day. And that's like really powerful. So just come up with something that works for you. I'm an anxious person, so I need to chill. I need to chill out in the morning. But for you, it might be something else.
So do you feel now like, taking on, Sam Ovens' ideas and whatnot, and you gain, sleep early at night around 9:30, are you like really laser focused right now? Like do that
right now, I just pounded a cup of coffee. So I'm going to probably make a YouTube video after this, but
you feel like you're in the entrepreneur zone, say?
Honestly, the biggest trick to get into the zone, this is something I love from Sam Ovens. It's like put your phone on airplane mode when you're working, and close yourself off. It's much easier if you're married and you have all your loved ones like in person, because they know to leave you alone unless it's an emergency, and you get kind of anxious. I live in Boston, my family's in Chicago, so like it's kind of nerve-wracking if like something happens. But like really. Sam Ovens, watch this video. It's called Death by 1,000 Cuts by Sam Ovens. He gets it from different places. So basically, you don't want to be context switching. Jason Wardrop taught me this millionaire trick. It's basically like to learn that multitasking actually destroys your productivity by making me write multitasking works. But the first time you write multitasking works, the next time you do M from multitasking and then W from works, and then you go back up and down, back and up and down. And you'll see by doing this exercise that you just do it way slower. And after that, I just realized there's no point in multitasking. Millionaires, billionaires, successful people, they are the worst multitaskers you'll find in the world. So yeah.
Awesome. There you go. All good. Thanks you for that one. And dividends. Without a Sure's got a question for you.
I'm 23 years old as well. Awesome, man. What biggest tip would you give to be happy, successful? I live far away from family, so it's a little hard. Definitely chase something. If you have a passion, having something as a hobby or a passion, like for me, it's building businesses, like that keeps you busy and happy if you're chasing something. But also you need to have 1 to 2 close friends that you can confide in. If you're away from family like I am, find 1 to 2 people who you can be yourself with comfortably, and you don't need a billion friends, but just you need some people. You cannot get through this world alone. You have me, you have Rick. You can definitely network with me, add me on Facebook. And if you need anyone to talk to, I'm here for you. But in your local community, definitely, if you don't have friends that you feel close with, go to events. What I did was after my breakup, so here's a little background. So after my breakup, all my friends in college were her friends, and I had 0 friends. When I moved out of my apartment, I messed this up, but we were living together. It was a really dramatic breakup. And then when I moved closer to the city, I had no friends. And the way I developed my friends tactically was I went to every Facebook event and Eventbrite event and Meetup event. I went to literally Monday through Friday, every single event until I found someone that I liked. And then afterwards, I just zoomed in and hung out with them regularly, built a relationship. Relationships will get you through life, whether they're platonic or romantic. You need it.
Yeah.
So
we're all humans, man. We're all human. Right? We all need one another. You're right. Going through with the team as well. You want to be successful. The team and learn and help and grow with each other is definitely. I totally agree with you. So what are your plans for your YouTube channel now?
So I like I said, I'm focused on inputs and not outputs right now. So right now I'm focused on 3 videos a week, no matter what. The way it kind of is structured right now is I do 2 kind of planned videos, Monday and Wednesday, and then Friday is kind of made right before Friday, and it's unscripted, it's in the moment, it's just either an update in where I am in my journey, or it's something that has caught the media or my attention. So yeah, just 3 videos a week indefinitely. I want this to become a part of me forever. So 3 videos a week, and my YouTube, if it grows, my goal is I want to put this into the world. I want to be full-time YouTubing. I want this to be how I pay my bills. But with COPA and with all kinds of changes, I can't rely on something external to kind of do that. But my biggest passion is building a community with more like-minded people like you. So that's kind of my big goal with YouTube, is to find more people who want to live their best life, essentially. I don't want to sound cheesy or anything, but people who don't want to subscribe to what everyone else is doing. Yeah.
Good. What do you value most in people?
Wow. Great questions. What I value most in people.
Thank you. That's the 6th time you mentioned that.
2 things. One, that they're passionate about something.
Right.
I value someone being obsessed over something. It could be swimming. It could be basket weaving. It could be entrepreneurship, but someone who they just love something so much that you can just see you could see that they just genuinely love it. And authenticity is very important to me. If someone acts like someone else, or someone just to impress someone else, then they're digging themselves a hole. And I value people who are unashamed to be themselves. And they, even if it's embarrassing, sometimes. And so those 2 things are very important.
Good. When are you most productive?
When am I most productive? Definitely in the morning. So like right after, this is like kind of like what I do. Plan, the day before, wake up, I move around a little bit. I do my morning stuff, and then I down my cup of coffee, and my phone's in airplane mode. I just zoom in. I do the most important, hardest thing first. I can't remember the principle, but it's basic Parkinson's law. Okay. So Parkinson's law is basically saying that you should do the hardest thing first, because at the end of the day, you're going to run out of energy. So I try to get like my YouTube videos or anything creative done in the beginning, and anything routine like checking email, that always comes last. Something about email is that an email is essentially a to-do list that's created by other people for you. So if you think about it like that, so
oh man, they're looking at it that way.
Yeah, and that same thing is with a phone. If you're getting a phone call, someone is calling you when it's convenient for them, when they're on their lunch break, and when they're relaxed. So don't be accessible. That's something I learned from big entrepreneurs, is to create your own schedule. If you have to block out time to work, and when you're working, you're literally in solitary confinement. And when you're not working, it's up to you.
Yeah. Wow. How many books have you read so far this year?
I can't count. What just unlocked the best investment I ever made. You're going to say, hey, it's in yourself, but no, it was in a Kindle. I bought a Kindle, and now I'm just reading. I'm nonstop reading. Like, it's amazing.
Wow. Good for you. Holy jeez. Any questions, guys, for Zach? Holy moly. This hour has gone by so fast.
So sorry.
So throw a few more questions. We'll probably start wrapping it up soon. So just over the hour, like I said, but wow. Okay. Give me 3 words that would best describe you.
Eccentric, funny, and courageous. I know it's kind of like, because like, courage is a very powerful adjective for me, because it's like saying I am afraid, but I'm not afraid to overcome my fear.
Good. What's one thing you refuse to share?
Refuse to share?
Yeah.
How? Refuse to share. That's a good one. Because I'm like an open book. Like, I tell people everything. Nothing. I mean, honestly, like I don't know, my back knee.
Tell me something that you've learned in this past week.
In this past week?
In this year, obviously, it's the 7th of January. So the past, so far this year, what have you learned? Something new, something positively impacting your life.
I learned that when you're building your brand, you shouldn't be worried about how many likes, comments, or shares you get. You should be worried. You should be focusing 100% on creating, making more, putting yourself out there, and just constantly making content. I used to be, if you're a YouTuber, then you have the YouTube Studio app, and you're just swiping down, looking how many subs you have, how many comments you're getting, how many likes you're getting. And I realized none of that matters, because my point isn't to become famous. My point is to build a brand and to impact people. So just focus on your output and not what the results are of your output. So your input. Yeah. So that's kind of something I'm learning. So it really helped me, because my channel wasn't growing. I've been on this platform since like a year ago, and I'm still not monetized. I'm still under 1,000 subscribers. But like that mindset really pushed me for the long term, So, and also, like, I used to be thinking in 1-year increments, and now I'm thinking in terms of decades. So
good. All right, Gil's got another question for you.
Sure. Have you thought about building a business line of credit while increasing your investment portfolio? That is a fantastic question. And to answer your question, I haven't. Eight what?
That was 8. That was the 8th time you said we've had a fantastic question for you. Good job.
No, seriously, all your questions are fantastic. I haven't really thought about it too much in depth. Please email me. Let me know more about it. My contractor, she's amazing. Her name is Adila. She was telling me kind of about how she's building her business line of credit, and it seems kind of like convoluted. It seems like not straightforward. So I have to obviously do research in it, but I wanted to keep my mind singular focused right now. I'm more focused on output than building credit, because I'm not with a social media marketing agency. There's not a lot of upfront costs. It's more about putting yourself out there, selling and getting clients. But yeah, I think what you're saying is valid, and I think that it's something I should be thinking about.
Definitely. Use one word to describe your computer ability.
My computer ability?
Yeah.
Proficient. I'm a software engineer, so I'm on a computer all day. I code for a living, and I used to work in the IT department at my college. So.
Wow. All right. So, inside and out. All right. Citizen of the Year. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for the comment. And it's true. I guess. I don't know. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
I've been relocated to the basement. My new office is in the basement, so it's a little chilly down here, hence the long sleeve shirt.
Citizen, I'm glad you said it because I wasn't going to.
Yeah. It's actually a Nintendo. The original Nintendo. I'm the original gamer, apparently.
Yeah.
Like, look at that. Remember that one?
Yeah,
So,
I love it. I love it.
Well, thanks for the comments. Let's see. Is there anything that you would like to tell us that I haven't asked about you already to the community and whatnot? Because hopefully you're going to be part of it as we're all growing. We want you to be here, growing with us and whatnot. But so is there anything that we need to know about you?
Just, I don't know. Just, I check out my channel. I mean, I'm not trying to say it as a plug, but it's kind of hard to just talk about your entire existence in like an hour or so. But I want you to know, like, genuinely that I want to hear each and every one of your stories. I want to see what inspired you to become an entrepreneur. Like, what is driving you? And I basically want to like understand everyone else's story, because at the end of the day, we're all here in a big maze, and we're all here interacting with each other. And I want to just like learn, like, what is everyone else doing and why are they doing it? And that's kind of my big goal, is to kind of just come up with a melting pot and just figure out and like build a large community. I want everyone to get the courage to chase their dreams. If that means quitting their job, if that means putting all their money in and living at home and taking bigger risks. Here's the thing. If you're watching this and you're in your early 20s, then you should be more risky with everything you do. This is the time when you can afford to screw up. You can afford to make mistakes. I can go bankrupt today and be 33 years old. How many people can say that? So like, and the world's, it's just flat out, the world is kind to young people as far as resetting. So just do it. If you want to, you don't have a wife, or if you're a girl, like, or your partner, you don't have a partner, or a mortgage holding you down. This is the time to take the chances in your life. And if you have to start over, then whatever.
Yeah, definitely. So you are on social media. Your Instagram is?
Incubating Entrepreneur. I'm on TikTok too. I forgot to say that. It's not just because it's not more for me, it's more for you. TikTok's exploding right now. The algorithm's completely like messed up, and people are getting famous for every reason possible. So if you're trying to build yourself a brand, get on TikTok. It's just a little plug for everyone.
Got it. Make sure everybody check out Zach on his social media. Definitely check out his channel. Subscribe by all means. And hopefully you're going to be hanging around with us for the next few years as we're all growing together. So, all right, guys, if we don't have any other questions, we might be putting this one to rest. It's getting past Zach's bedtime. Like, no joke.
Oh, yeah, it is. But I'm probably not going to sleep tonight because I downed that coffee. So.
All right. So, all right. Is there anything else? I'm out of questions. I think I've asked you a ton of them. You great answers as always. It's fantastic.
Thank you so much. I thank you so much for having me on the show. And thank you all here who are here live. And if you're seeing this and it's not live, thank you for sitting through this entire thing. I appreciate it. You guys are amazing, and I can't wait to see where this goes for you and your channel, for me and my channel, for you guys and your businesses. I'm really excited.
Yeah,
I'm very excited.
Over the next watching all of us grow together. 2020
is going to be a fantastic year. Just look at the ring to it. 2020.
Yeah, so true. So, all right, guys. And on that note, everybody have a great night. We'll see you hopefully on Thursday. We got our first showing of Creator Talk, and then next Tuesday as well with Hangout With. So, all right, guys, everybody have a great night. We'll definitely talk to you guys soon. Okay, take care.
All right, guys, take care.